Welcome to this week's Editor's Picks. I'm Joe Anselmo, Aviation Week's Editor-in-Chief, and our team is in the midst of assembling our Aerospace 2026 forecast issue. The first batch of stories is being rolled out to you this week, with the rest next week. But that hasn't stopped us from reporting on the news, and Graham Warwick, our Chief Technology Editor, is on the cusp of a big story this week. Graham, what did you write about?
So it's another new aviation startup coming out of stealth. There's been quite a few of those in recent years. This company is called Evio. It's been around for about 7 years. It used to be called EOS Aircraft, but then it changed its name to Evio before it came out of stealth. It's based in Montreal. It has a lot of Bombardier people on the team, and what they are launching is a hybrid electric regional airline called the Evio 810. Now, it's aimed at that core 70 to 90 seat market that's served today by the remaining CRJs in service, but also the Embraer E-Jet series, the ATR 72. So, but the big difference is that this is a completely clean sheet design. They've worked for 7 years and they're just finishing up their concept design review. It's aimed really at trying to bring the regional aviation back by dramatically reducing operating costs through the hybrid electric architecture, but also offering an airplane that is really as close to a single aisle passenger experience as you can get. So it's got a very wide fuselage, 4 abreast seating with wide aisles, big bins. The real key differentiator is it's what they call a strong hybrid. So it has 4 Pratt & Whitney PT6 turboprops and 4 electric motors powering propellers. So it's a 4-engine airplane, same sort of performance as an ATR, aimed at 500 nautical mile missions. But it's intended to do the entire mission, shorter missions, 300 nautical miles, entire mission gate to gate, all electric. It only uses the turbine engines to extend to those longer missions or to recharge the batteries if they need to in flight. It's a very experienced team. The co-founders, Michael Durman and Luc van Bavel, have worked together for years. Luc van Bavel is an aircraft designer. He designed the SNC Freedom jet trainer. He designed the Airlines Scorpion jet light attack airplane. A bunch of other general aviation airplanes that he's designed over the years. And Michael's worked with him on those programs and everything over several years. They've got a pretty experienced board. The board includes Rob Dewar, who is the guy who led development of the Bombardier C series, now the Airbus 220, which we all know is a very, very well designed airplane for its market, right? Whatever its sales figures are, it's a very well designed airplane, very well thought out airplane. And Frank Capuccio, who's the former head of Lockheed Martin Skunk Works, is on board as well. So it's a very experienced team. They're just coming out of concept design review. They actually have some backing already from Boeing Canada, had that in place for some time. They also have, typical of a startup, they have pre-orders. They have 450 orders and options from 2 major airlines, which they're not announcing yet. So it's an interesting airplane. It's a very well conceived, as an airplane to kind of dramatically, improve the regional experience. So we'll have to wait and see over the year. They're aiming at early 2030s to get this in service. So we'll have to see whether they can meet their goal of reinvigorating regional aviation.
Okay, well, to our subscribers, you can scroll down and read the complete story by Graham, along with all the other content this week in Aviation Week.